One guy was wearing yellow, but it is what it is. I'll live.
We just heard Charlie's Tinder bio. He likes yellow, striking, and ankle sleeves.
Immediate leg kick attempts from Omar.
And there was some of that flash, a spinning kick right off of the missed leg kick.
Both guys taking their time in the center.
Well, both guys know they have 5 rounds ahead of them.
Yes, good reminder. And great point. D-Rock, both guys really loose with that lead hand. It seems like they're trying to find a range and then open up their kicks.
Yeah, that's something we haven't really seen much of tonight, right? A feeling out process.
No, definitely not.
But again, like James mentioned, it's a 5-round fight.
Omar almost seemed offended that his opponent landed a leg kick. He had to land one of his own immediately back.
Yeah. That's what I call the big brother, or the little brother effect. Right? Your brother does something to you, you got to do the same thing right back, only more annoying.
And I love the kick range. I've said it so many times, but they're sitting right outside punch range. You can't really land a knee. Of course, you're not landing an elbow outside here. But they're trading kicks. I don't think anyone's landed a punch yet.
No, they've just been feinting jabs and setting up those kicks.
Hard check from Omar.
Big kick there from Omar. 2 quick kicks in a row there from Mccord.
Very technical matchup. Both Walter and Omar are looking for some punches now. And it seemed like Walter landed one and Omar wants to throw his own. Again, looking for that spinning heel kick off the low kick miss.
I like the composure of Walter. I like how he's using his jab, too.
Yes.
He's keeping Omar honest by just pumping that jab out there, whether it's landing or not. It's something he's got to address. Short notice, but Walter came to fight tonight.
I had no idea he was on short notice, and that's the thing. I would not have been able to tell. He's fighting great. They both are. Now opening up some punches is Walter.
Yeah, it looks like he's, figured out some of that range, and now he's comfortable to open up with some combinations.
It seems like he's noticed that every time he extends that arm, Omar takes a step back. Right, Sensei James?
Yeah. Omar seems content to want to try to counter with those kicks.
And again, the second time he anticipates the circling from Walter and throws that spinning back kick to the body. Great round for both guys. D-Rock, who do you score that for?
Man, that was a tough round to score, but I don't know, man. That's a tough round to score. But, I don't know if the ISKA has their own this is kickboxing, not Muay Thai,
This is
correct?
kickboxing,
This is kickboxing, okay. I was almost going to go into some potential Muay Thai score in there. I know the Thai scores, they read much heavier on the kicks. I'm hard pressed to give a round there. There's a lot of feeling out, but I think that Walter was the busier fighter.
Yeah, but it's a more spectacular. I'm making quotation marks with my fingers here as I say that these judges do look for these spectacular moves and attempts like those spinning back kicks from Omar. So I don't know who they give that to. Sensei James, what do you think about that first round?
I agree with D-Rock. I think it's too close for us in our amateur judging here to try to score.
There's a reason why we're here and not over there.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Exactly.
The second round underway.
Now, D-Rock, what adjustments do you want to see from Walter?
It's hard to point out an adjustment. I think I would just like to see him maybe start to throw some more combinations. I like how he's using his jab. He's setting it up. I'd like to actually see him let his hands go a little bit more.
Charlie, what are you telling Omar?
I would like to see him be interested in the boxing range a little bit more. Maybe he could slip one of those jabs and come to the body or so, or go over the top just like that. Trading tons of kicks back and forth. They both land. He tries to go over the top of that jab again.
I love the jab of Walter, though.
Yeah, very busy with it. even if they're not all landing, they're giving Omar pause.
Yeah, it's something he's got to think about and address.
Omar making it clear he's looking for that overhand. They both land at a high clip there inside the pocket. And they're back to trading kicks now.
Well, the one thing I'd actually like to see out of both of them is to start changing some levels, right? You know, that it's been all leg kicks and punches up top. You know, start attacking that body as well. Kicks to the body, attack the body with your punches.
I think Walter's got the speed advantage. He's doubled up on a few of those low kicks.
Yeah.
And now he's trying to come forward himself. Switch kick up high from Walter as he backs up Omar a bit.
Nice combination counter.
Omar biting down on that mouthpiece, looking for some punches when Walter steps in inside.
Yeah, Omar throws heat.
I'd love to see an uppercut from Omar when he's in that close, instead of just looping the hooks.
Not a bad idea. D-Rock, a friend of yours is Omar. What would you like to tell him if you were in his corner?
I'd like to see him, what James said as well, throw that uppercut and maybe start throwing a little bit more straighter punches as well. I know he's got power with those hooks, but I'd actually like to see him interrupt Walter's jab with some straight punches.
Yeah, I think he wants to throw that right hand down the middle occasionally, but that switch kick of Walter is keeping that right arm busy defending.
It's true.
Hard leg kicks from both guys. He's looking for that left hook, Omar, as Walter comes in.
Omar's got dynamite in that left hook, too.
Hard leg kick from Omar. Lands. Walter back to the jab and then back to that inside low kick. Check that time from Walter. Omar.
Walter's going to start coming back up high with that kick now.
Sensei James, Walter had a lot of success in the first round and now the second with that lead hand, setting the jab range.
If I'm Omar, we got to start working off of that jab. We got to start blocking and countering it. We have to start answering that jab. If I'm Walter, I want to see something follow that jab. Don't just throw 2 and 3 jabs. Follow maybe the first jab with a left hook over the straight right hand, or use that to set the round kick. Not just 3 jabs and kind of admire it.
I actually think for Omar, I'd like to see him start utilizing, maybe throwing in that teeth kick and start pushing Walter's jab out of range with his teeth. And give him some resistance coming in. Just closing the distance behind that jab. I think if Omar starts using his teeth, could interrupt some of his distance.
Yeah, let's say that Omar comes out and he's definitely looking to do all that. You know, it's definitely a tall task, right? I mean, even in that last round, Omar had some success with those overhands, but still, Walter landed a high clip of kicks, man. It was really that whole round was a story. You know, that both guys had success, and I think Walter at this point has landed more.
Yeah.
I think that jab is what's making the difference.
And even if he's not throwing it, he's making Omar believe it's being thrown at him, so it's causing a little bit of hesitation.
Yeah, I mean, he's doubling and tripling up on it, too, when he's throwing. And it's consistent. It's busy.
Back to that switch kick is Walter. He's come close with a few of those, is Omar.
The one thing, this is a very linear fight. Not a lot of angles being taken. Both these guys just content to come forwards.
Very high-level striking, man. Right hand to the body from Omar. Back to the jab is Walter. And up high with that switch kick.
That switch kick comes out beautifully.
Yeah, he switches his feet very fast. He doesn't let them get too far apart. They're right beneath his hips, man, when he switches his feet.
Not a lot of fat on that technique.
Both guys stepping inside the pocket. Hard knee from Walter. And some hard body shots from Omar during that exchange.
He's having success going to the body, Omar.
You got to be impressed with the way Walter will have some success and then go back to the low kick.
Yeah.
Both guys inside, trading blows in the middle of the cage now.
Yeah, even though Omar is throwing a lot of the same strikes, there's not like a discernible cadence to it. You know, he's diversifying the time and the way he's throwing each one of those strikes. You know, he's been primarily with the jab and that kick, but he's disguising it well and letting it out at different times.
You can see some redness and swelling apparent on Omar's lead leg on the inside as well, as Walter lands another.
That was a beautiful inside leg kick there.
Yeah,
Sensei James, what can that do to a guy, man, when his leg starts to get fatigued like that? Of course, it's going to slow him down, but he's got to be hesitating every time Walter switches his feet, right?
Exactly. If nothing else, it creates a little bit of afterthought as you go to plant that foot to throw some hands, and when
if nothing else, it's distracting you. I mean, hey, it's pain, right? And you train hard in the gym, but you definitely don't train to take 30 or so inside low kicks. You know, you don't simulate that feeling.
Yeah, and it does start to degrade your power as well.
Because you can't sit down on that leg like you would before.
I mean, you should know all about that. How much guys of power have you taken away?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just throwing it, man.
No, stop being humble. Now's your time to shine, Charlie.
An unfortunate low blow. Quick pause of action. Keith Peterson says, "Don't do it again. Let's get it going again."
That was
right?
a pretty cordial warning from Keith, all considering tonight.
Well, they've been pretty clean beside that one moment, you know?
Yeah.
They're back right to it inside the center of the cage.
Omar is throwing some heat noticeably now.
Yeah.
That inside leg is taking a beating, man.
And it takes away from the punching combinations.
Yeah, the inside leg is, James, is just as red as Walter's shorts.
Yeah.
Omar showing that he'd like to spin again. Walter right outside of the range. 20 seconds left in this third round of action. They're in boxing range now.
And interestingly, Omar was having a conversation with his corner across the cage during that little break in the action because of the low. I couldn't quite make out what they were saying, but he was giving directions to his corner as opposed to the other way around.
I'd like to hear what that conversation was. Another low blow, unfortunately. Omar's going to have to shake this one off, and then we have like about 6 or 7 seconds remaining in the round. So,
yeah.
You know, it's when you're resting and your body's, you know, not moving at all is when that swelling really starts to settle in. You know, you almost want to be doing some high knees if you're Omar, right?
You want to be moving.
Exactly.
Yeah, keep that blood flowing. Don't let it.
Exactly.
Yeah, lock in. All right.
I think the problem is that, you know, Walter's been having success with that inside leg kick, but he's throwing it when the distance is getting closed and his leg is riding up. I don't think he's intentionally aiming, but it's the distance and the range in which he's throwing it.
Exactly, because the knee bends as Omar's stepping forward, so it's in a perfect ramp up to the groin.
Yeah, and this is where it's rough again. Omar standing there in his corner, and I know that leg is just getting worse by the second. Maybe they can get some ice on it, right?
There's two schools of thought there. One is, yes, get the ice on it. But the other school of thought is, don't start any of the treatment for the leg kick and make the muscle tighten up from the cold because of all the trauma.
Interesting.
Like if the fight was over right now and this is after the fight, yeah, put the ice on it. But if he wants to be able to use that muscle again in a few moments, keep the blood flowing.
Right. And something that you guys have picked up yourselves, something you guys know. They're closing the range, and Walter's switching his feet very fast, right? And Omar does not know if he's going upstairs to the body or the head with that kick or the inside. What is something that Omar can do, maybe before he switches his feet, when he can anticipate it, just to counter that, man? He's got to not only check that kick, but make him pay for throwing it, right?
He could throw the teep, as D-Rock was saying earlier, to try to interrupt, or he could just start circling to his left, which wouldn't, hand-wise, isn't the most defensively responsible thing. But Walter hasn't really thrown a right hand out there.
Listen, the antidote to kicks is always a straight punch right down the pipe, too. Oh, good combination.
A lot of success in the boxing range from Omar this round. Good straight punches from Omar a moment ago. What's interesting is even when Omar throws a kick, Walter's coming back with that inside low kick because Omar's not getting back just fast enough to be able to check it. If he has success, another hard round kick to the spinning back kick to the body from Omar, and a hard jab from Walter.
And you can see like individual toe prints on Omar's leg.
Hard body
shot. Oh, I just think that's a moment missed though right there by Omar, right? He landed a good body shot, kind of froze Walter for a second, but nothing came behind it.
Yeah, I'd like to see him cut off the cage a bit more so he can stay in a dominant position and put Walter on his back foot. These kicks are starting to add up on him, man. They've been, but I know Omar is doing his best job acting it out.
It hasn't slowed him down very much.
Yeah, I can't believe that neither guy from all the leg kicks in this fight.
Hard right hand.
That right hand
up
wobbled
top.
him a little bit.
Even when he's wobbled, he's comfortable switching those feet and throwing that kick. Is Walter. Oh.
Both men have eaten so many leg kicks, and yet they're both moving so fine.
Starting to mix it up, and a dump. Beautiful, beautiful dump from Omar, catching that kick up high. I'd like to see Omar use his feints and come forward and try to win the real estate a bit more.
Yeah, you're right, Charlie. He's got to start to come forwards.
He's a little too content going backwards.
Yeah, and that's actually giving Walter the space to switch and land that kick also.
Yeah, plenty of freedom to also back up to avoid him. He wouldn't have so much success throwing these kicks if he was on his back foot, you know? And but hats off to Walter doing a good job with the cutting off of the cage on his own.
Yeah, Walter's fighting beautifully tonight. Good check from Omar.
A couple jabs on the inside from Walter at putting Omar back at kick range for that switch kick. There it is again. He doubles up that time.
The velocity and speed of that switch hasn't degraded at all.
No way.
Yeah. Very, very fast twitch. Muscle fibers in the hips and hip flexors of Walter. And he's obviously probably thrown that kick probably over 50,000 times in his life. I have no idea. It looks so comfortable for him.
It looks like he could do it in his sleep.
Yeah, it looks like he's not burning a calorie doing it. He can do them. He doesn't care if it gets blocked. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Charlie, I'm going to put you on the spot. How do you have this fight scored so far through 3?
I think there's no doubt in my mind that Walter's won the last 2. You know, just because I'm only human, I can't even remember the first round as well as I would like to. But I remember it being way closer than the last 2 have been. And Walter's definitely picked up the pace and is scoring at a much higher clip. What do you think about Sensei James?
Both guys are doing everything better, which is nice. I feel like the level has gone up as the fight's gone on. Omar's living up to the nickname that much more. We see more hands landing for Omar. Walter's kick, like you said, it looks just as good now as it did in the first round.
Startling admission, though, from Charlie that he's only human.
Hey, man, come on now.
Well, you got to be human to be accountable, after all.
That's true. I'm getting kind of hungry sitting here, by the way.
That's why I'm glad you're in the middle, D-Rock.
That's why you sat there.
I taste terribly.
Salt and TRT.
That's true. Some feints from Omar. Again, looking for that spinning heel kick. Some feints that just get Omar backed up, and that's where Walter eventually lets go of his combination. And again, ending with that inside low kick. Some nice counters there from Omar.
It's been pretty impressive that he's been able to throw it from all different ranges, too.
Yeah.
It just doesn't take much effort for him. He's literally just putting more weight on that right leg, stepping it out, and snapping that left leg out there, man. It's slapping and making hard contact no matter what.
Now, tripled up on that leg kick.
Man, these guys are banging away. Is there really a limit to how much that leg can take, Sensei James, or is it just it does come down to toughness?
It doesn't seem like that.
Yeah, Omar hasn't acknowledged it at all.
Yeah.
He's a physically defying fighter here.
Yeah, I mean the mental strength from Omar.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I don't doubt his toughness at all, man.
Kinesiology would tell us there's a limit, but Omar says no.
Again,
I mean, he's even still circling well.
Yeah, that's the fight or flight, man. He knows he's in a fight. He definitely is moving as fast as he can, you know. And the adrenaline's working for him. Oh, man.
Good sweep there by Omar.
This is a war so far.
I'd really like to see Omar get a little busier here this late in the round.
Good combination.
1-2 down the middle from Omar, yes. Spinning back fist from Omar nearly lands. Flush.
Oh,
and some hands.
Omar lands a beautiful left hook.
And then blocks a kick with the cage. That was impressive.
Man,
There's some hands on the inside.
Omar has really put together some great combinations tonight, too.
Yeah. Like I said, I'd like to see him sneak the uppercut in the middle of those hooks. It'll open up the hooks that much more.
Man, high-level kickboxing on display tonight.
You see, even when Omar landed his low kick, he landed it flush, hard. And Walter comes back with his inside low kick. Omar's got to do it. I mean, I know he's tired now, but he's got to get back to his stance. Just as fast as he's getting his strike to his target, he's got to bring it back to his stance. So he can check that inside low kick.
Omar's dodging that kick like the Matrix.
Seriously. He's seen it come so many times.
Yeah.
10 seconds remaining.
Oh. Man, Walter's got a chin because Omar's been landing some big punches.
They left it all out there.
Still
No
a
doubt
fight.
in our minds, yeah.
Seriously. High level of skill for both guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 3-minute rounds, we go to a judges' scorecard for our decision. The judges scored this contest 48-47, 50-45, and 49-46. With your winner by split decision, Walter Mccord.
And that decision goes to Walter in a tough fight.